Here today I'm going to be doing not one but two reviews. I'm going to be doing the review on this model right here, which is the 2015 model to Pioneer single DIN car stereo receiver. It's a DEH X3800s. So the 3800 means it's basically the middle of the road unit in their lineup, and actually for the first time this year they actually launched the one that starts with the 1 prefix, so they will no longer have their entry-level, bare bones receiver any longer going forward, I guess, for the future. I mean, if it's not there this year, I can't imagine they're going to bring it back next year, because the sales and the call for them, I guess, are just not there anymore. So they're starting in the 2 series. So moving up the food chain, you're going to have the 3800s, which is this one here, and you also have a lower end unit, which is the 3800ui. That's the other unit that I'm not going to bring out. However, I can review. How is it that I can do 2 radios in once? Well, I'm just that good? No. What it is that the UI is basically the same unit as this one without the Sirius Ready compatibility. There is the review. Video over. No, I'm just kidding. This one here is just the 3800s, which is the Sirius Radio model, which is the one I think that most people are going to go for. So let's get to it. This unit is in demo mode, as I usually like to do, and I usually like to do my little, talking in the background. This is what you can expect to see in the box. Pretty straightforward, not a whole lot going on. You got a remote control, ISO mount screws, couple of keys, manual warranty card. I mean, that is it, folks. So let's take a look at the back side of this unit. See what she's got. I also want to show you that this is a detachable face panel. On the bottom right, there's a little button there. You can click that and remove this panel for security purposes. Nice gloss black trim ring, which is really attractive, by the way. You got a mounting sleeve located right here. Standard size on this unit, 7¼ inches, 2¼ about 11 inches in depth. Your harness, you have over here, you have your plug for your Sirius XM, should you be adding that function on. Of course, if you're going to use just a standard aerial, you got the AM/FM analog antenna input located right here. You have your steering wheel interface here, and you have 2 sets of preamp outputs. This one here is for your front dedicated output, and this one here is a selectable either rear or subwoofer outputs. You could have front and sub or front and rear. If you're in a pinch and you just need to have all sets of 3 for whatever reason, but you only have this head unit, you could take this and 2 Y splitters and split that off to your front and rears. You just lose your fader for front and rear, but you will have audio outputs, and you could have a dedicated subwoofer output here as well. Or you could just use this for front, use this for rear, use a Y splitter and have like a remote control, gain control dealy, and run that out to your sub as well, if you're in that position. But whatever. Over here, 16-pin speaker power harness, which is pretty much standard stuff. These wires just keep getting thinner and thinner and thinner. 10 amp fuse located right over here. This one here actually does boast an amplifier turn-on wire, and you also have an orange-white, which is an illumination wire, so it will dim automatically if you apply 12 volts to that wire, which is a good function to have, especially in a lot of vehicles these days. And this one does have a pretty pronunciated, intense display. If you let it get crazy, it could really, affect your nighttime driving. So let's turn this unit on and let's see what else this unit has to offer. A little different from last year's 3700 model, this one here has an anti-dust finish, which is very nice, because you can see it's got that nice gloss black finish like they put on a lot of modern home theater TVs, stuff like that. It's a pretty cool feature. Also over here, the USB, which can, when you plug it in, usually it would go to USB mode automatically on the source and start working with your phone, right? This one actually gives you a choice to use it as a charger, like as a dock to just charge your phone or your iPad, or to use it as a primary source for your audio function. So that's a nice feature as well. This unit also supports the mix track, so if that's your thing, if you have the app on your phone from Pioneer and you're doing that whole thing, this thing will function just like it always have for all your other units, the way you've always accustomed to using it. It will support iPhone 6 and later. Across the board, Pioneer has always been exceptional in that respect, so, rock on with that. Sirius XM, this works with the SXV300 tuner, which will give you all the latest functionality for the Sirius Radio apps. USB, of course. The RCA preamp voltage, which I didn't mention in voltage output, is 2 volts on this one. So if you're looking for high voltage, look up the food chain. This one here offers 2 volts, which still is not that bad. Across the display, you can see that there's an outside color you can customize, and you have the inside zone, which you can modify for up to 20,000 colors. So if you wanted to have this say green and the outside blue, totally doable. They've laid out everything a lot differently. You have the bigger knob, the source located very conveniently. All the presets are located right down here, and of course you have an analog input as well. So very nicely, well laid out, classy, very sophisticated looking unit for 2015. Let's turn this thing on and see what else this unit can do for you. So I'm not going to go into, wasting your time on all the presets and all that stuff, because nobody really cares a whole lot about that stuff anymore. Mixed tracks, that's another story in itself. But all the functions, the meat and potatoes of this unit, which what people really care about is, of course, your source is an AM/FM auxiliary radio. There's also a CD slot located here if there was a disc in there, which actually there can be. There's no reason why it can't be. I have no shortage of discs in my warehouse, that's for sure. This will give you all the information on the text if it's an encoded disc, of course. I mean, what else would you expect? And on top of that, I want to tell you about all the settings that you can expect from Pioneer. Specifically, I like to go in the audio mode, because to me that's everything in a receiver. If it doesn't have good audio controls and functionality, it's just not good at all. Now the way you have to get into the menu in this unit is like this. With this unit, to its much credit, actually a lot of credit to this unit, they've actually made the navigation of the menu settings pretty darn easy. When you initially turn it on, it gives you the option to set it up for iPhone, Android, the clock time for 12 or 24 hours, for the USB setting for charger, or audio playback, just right off the bat. Now of course, you could hold down this big knob right here and you can get into your other settings, which is for your system, adjusting the mix tracks, which is for that DJ type of dealy, your functions, and of course the audio settings. So the audio is real quick. I'm going to show you that. When you get in there, you just push the knob. You can adjust, loudness. Yep. You can adjust for low, mid, and high, or just turn it off and have it run passive. And there's a little back button right there, so you can actually just go right back to where you were without getting lost and getting into a big flurry about everything. Subwoofer control, reverse and normal, turn it off. Next you get bass boost, so you can actually have a loudness feature, which is just basically a bass emphasizer at lower volume levels. Get on back. High pass filter settings, turn it off. You can block 50 Hertz, 63, 80, 100, 125, 160, and 200, or just have it passive right through, which is excellent. Lots of choices. Fader, which is for your front and rear, of course. Balance, left and right. EQ settings, these are all the presets. You got 2 customizable settings. In here you can adjust your low frequencies, 250 range, 800, which is your mid-range, upper mid-range, and then you get into your highs, 8,000. So you got a 5-band EQ. There's no parametric EQ, nothing crazy like that, no band pass, nothing too serious, but it gives you all the bare essentials, and it gives you a decent layout. So it's pretty straightforward, I think, in how to use it. I think anybody can understand that, and I think that that's what they're going for. Back to where you were, and then you got your main menu settings again, your illumination. You can adjust all your colors for your keys, your display, the whole bit right there. Dimmer settings, your clock, all that stuff. So overall, very easy to use. Hold the presets for your FM stations, which is 18 in total, 3 bands times 6, 6 on the AM. Mix tracks laid out right here. Your bands, very easy to toggle through. Your source search button, which is located right here if you're using the Pandora app, or if you're using your iPhone or Android connected to the unit. Eject right here, slot load right there. I mean, really, what else can you ask for? For a radio that's just over $100, this thing does a whole lot for the money. So it's a cool unit. Also, if you're not interested in the Sirius and you want to save a couple more bucks, just get the 3800ui. This is the 3800s, so if you need the Sirius XM, this is the one for you. And there you have it. If you liked the video, give it a like. If you didn't like it, give me a like anyway.